Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Walkthru the Catalog for tonight's topic, which is a phenomenal one. It is an antioxidant, but it is so important for the blood, for the oxygen within the body, and so much more. Let's go ahead. Just as a disclaimer, everything said here is not meant to diagnose, treat, or cure, or prevent anything, and it's for educational purposes. The statements here have not been made, have not been approved by the Food and Drug Administration. So, here are some signs for vitamin E, that your vitamin E may be a little low. And sorry, there's a long laundry list of them, but it includes short of breath, leg cramps, angina pain, heart attacks, stroke, blood clots, high cholesterol, varicose veins, bad circulation, cold hands and feet, hot flashes, menopause, aging spots, bruising, scar tissue tendencies, allergies, inflammation, weak immune system, hernia, ulcers, burns, scars, fibrocystic breast lumps, and epilepsy. Kind of all a mouthful.
So here are some fast facts about vitamin E that some studies that were actually done. So there was one in 1993. So that taking 100 to 200 milligrams a day can reduce your risk of heart attack by 40% in both men and women. Also in 1996, there was a different study. If you increase the dose to 400 to 800 milligrams, it could reduce it by 75% for heart disease. So it's pretty amazing there. Berkeley did a study in 1995 saying that there was a 20 times high potency using alpha tocotrienol rather than alpha tocopherol, which is two different branches of the vitamin E family, which of course Neolife has all of those. It's the only Neolife one vitamin E that uses alpha tocotrienol, has all four of those. There's four of those, then four alpha tocopherol, so 8 total.
But you're jumping the slides because, I'll let you proceed with this next slide. Go ahead.
So again, for Neolife, again, they use all 8 of those. You can see the little diagram there under that family. So there's the delta, gamma, beta, alpha, both of those. So an interesting thing about the gamma tocopherol, that's the only one that gets rid of peroxide nitrate, which is a destructive free radical. It's found at inflammation sites. So can, of course, that
the antioxidant, anti-radical stress. We're going to talk about that in a little bit too.
And again, chronic inflammation is what starts all disease processes, at least arthritis, cardiovascular disease, cancer. So this can help keep that at bay.
Yes, I just got done talking and did a whole presentation on inflammation. Kind of insane if you were watching this past weekend at one of the events that we were proud to be part of. So helpful, vitamin E supports heart, brain, and prostate health and promotes lung, colon, and immune function, as well as youthful looking skin. Who doesn't want that? As an antioxidant, it protects cell membranes from free radical attack. What those are, free radicals, they're bad guys. They're bad guys always out there to look for a weak link and something it can take advantage of. It can be, free radicals can be from the sun. Now we talk about sun damage. Those are free radicals from the sun. So you talk about toxins just in our food, our water, those are all free radicals. It also, which is really cool, it inhibits the plaque formation from oxidation of cholesterol because of its powerful antioxidant effects. The next screen is going to actually carry into this little bit, but the thing is a lot of people don't realize vitamin E can actually help the body prevent cholesterol buildup. That's plaque buildup. And this can be a lot from dietary intake. But in general, cholesterol is needed for certain for certain hormones. But our body is supposed to regulate how much it needs and get rid of the excess. Sometimes by our lifestyles, it's not able to do that. So again, it improves the immune function, especially in the elderly. So this really cool, I love this little thing. So it's something to kind of like hope you're all laughing about, but it's actually a very serious, it's the blood cell helper. And you can see it is really tied into carrying oxygen within the blood. So get this, vitamin E stays in the cell for 90 days picking up toxins, but it has to have vitamin C. So again, just like we saw with the B vitamins and so many others, you have to have one for the other. So that's why we need to make sure we get balances in our vitamins and nutrients, especially in foods. But when we supplement, we need to make sure we have that. It is important for red blood cell survival as it prolongs the lifespan of these cells by protecting the cell membrane, which is around the outside. That's kind of like our skin. It has a skin of its own, the cell membrane from free radical attack. It promotes the body's use of oxygen. So especially for a person like me that has sensitivities to the lungs, vitamin E, you can bet that is in my toolbox for my body. So again, it helps get the oxygen into the blood. Plus, if you think about many diseases, they do not like oxygen. There is the cancer word that's actually proven in studies that it does not like oxygen. So it is essential to move things along, protecting from blood clots. Again, it's going to help keep things moving. Yes, high amounts of vitamin E can thin the blood. It's estimated, and of course, because we're all different human beings, it's estimated around 1,000 milligrams a day can actually start to thin your blood. So again, if you are on certain blood thinners or medications that have blood thinning effects, you want to be very careful with that. But it supports, again, the blood clearing out. Oh, and one little quick thing, that oxygen, there you can see oxygen from the lungs, it breathes in, carries it along in the red blood cell, and oxygen is released to the cells. So pretty cool what it does. Our body does it automatically. So vitamin E, how to spot a fake. There's a lot of them out there. Natural vitamin E is very expensive raw material, so many companies use synthetic versions, which are cheaper to process. An easy thing to look for on the label is day alpha or D alpha, which is for the natural from food version, and the synthetic is from DL alpha. So it's D alpha tocopherol versus DL alpha tocopherol. That's the differences. And you can see on the labels right there, the top one, you can see vitamin E as a day alpha tocopherol acetate, which acetate is this one in particular. Acetate is a synthetic version of vitamin A as well too. So kind of crazy. So they're actually using a synthetic vitamin D derived from a vitamin A, which is kind of really strange in this particular situation. And you can actually see a lot of times, unless it says, a lot of times you're going to get the, what is it? The mixed tocopherols. A lot of times they say that instead of saying DL, since everyone knows to look for it, the mixed tocopherols, a lot of times those are actually synthetic too. So you can actually see on the label, the bottom label from the Neolife vitamin E, you can see it's a vitamin E as a day alpha tocopherol. It has from wheat germ oil, which we know from other products. Wheat germ oil supports the cellular structure, and it has mixed non-alpha tocopherols. So those, again, are still from food, but it has additional ones besides just the vitamin E to give you that ultimate oomph. Now, 15 milligrams is recommended for those 14 and older, but you can see you're getting 3,000-ish times the daily allowance. So again, this actually really does have some significant benefits.
And if you remember from those studies that were done, they were in the 2 to 4, even up to 800 milligram range.
Yeah.
So it really reduced that heart attack and heart disease risk. So 15 milligrams is pretty, very minimal.
That's minimal,
Very
minimal.
Yeah.
So the other thing is the vitamin E from Neolife, it is cold pressed. So anytime that you get any oils of any sort, you always want it cold pressed. And the reason why, if you have high heat with any oils, it destroys it, makes it carcinogens. It destroys all of the nutrient values of it. So this one in particular is cold pressed. It's water miscible. Vitamin E is a fat soluble fat, so means it doesn't want your mainly water. So it doesn't get into your bloodstream. It doesn't break apart. Ours is water miscible, so it actually gets into the bloodstream, gets into the water base, and actually, oh, I was going to do a demonstration, but if you actually take one of these, pop it open, put it in some water, and stir it around, you'll actually see everything disperses within the water. You want that because our bodies are a large amount of water. So again, you want it to work with your body. This particular one, again, it's pure cold pressed wheat germ oil with lecithin, and that's what helps emulsify it to break up that fat soluble vitamin and disperse it into the bloodstream. And that's actually from high potency, non-genetically modified soy lipid extracts. And through the water miscible technology, it has a blend of additional things, including apple pectin, lecithin, which again encourages for that higher, more efficient absorption of vitamin E. So if you have the walkthroughs, we're going to go through those right now. And go ahead, take it away.
So for number 1, it's going to be great for lung problems, as well as allergies. You can put that in there too. Allergies and lung problems.
Number 2, it's fantastic for impotence challenge. IMPOTENCE. So that has to do with fertility.
Number 3, it's great as an antioxidant. Again, one of those ACEs, AC and E, all the antioxidants.
It is wonderful for circulation. Again, it helps that bloodstream get things moving and continue to move.
So if you get in that gangrene stage, it's going to be helpful for that. Particularly common for diabetics. Number 5 is tremendous for muscle building and strengthening the heart, and it can help to balance the cholesterol levels as well.
Yep. Number 6, it's wonderful for increasing energy. I guess I should take this one in the morning.
7 is fantastic for asthma and emphysema problems. Again, it helps with those lungs.
Yep.
So that falls into that category.
Number 8, add to water for dry or sore throat. And I have used this, and oh, does it nourish the throat or even kind of the sore vocal cords? It just helps soothe that whole lining as you're sipping it down.
And lastly, number 9, supports good vision. Is that one.
Yep. So a couple other little fun facts that I had written down is it actually inhibits lead. So it counteracts lead, works with selenium for fertility. It can be used both internally and externally. So something that I did for wound healing when I had my foot surgery done. It's funny how dermatologists will tell you not to use vitamin E or aloe. I think they know something about the synthetic derivatives that's in a lot of the stuff out there, because the last sheet that I had is do not put vitamin E or aloe on your wound. And I know my stuff is good, so I did, but a little bit of vitamin E, crushed zinc, vitamin E, crushed zinc, and a little bit of aloe. That was the perfect wound healing. Really did help smooth things along. And again, because it's an antioxidant, it protects against age-related decline of immune system. And this is what's really cool, is it boosts the production of natural killer cells. Those are the things that fight every disease, every toxin, everything your body's challenged with, including the C word. The killer cells are what your body needs the most. So it can actually boost the production of those natural killer cells and antibiotics.